Okay, Mom, for my dorm, I'm thinking coquette meets poet core.
That sounds like a vibe. What do you need? And where do we get it?
Target. I already have everything on my mood board. A comforter, pillows, and a super cute floral lamp.
So you probably need a rug to tie it all together.
OMG, they have the perfect CMPC rug.
CMPC?
Coquette meets poet core.
Oh, okay. In that case, let's RTT.
Yeah, let's run to Target. You're getting it. Find your dorm inspiration and everything you need at Target.
Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
And now, a special edition of the Toddcast podcast.
Powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, providing complete financing and mortgage services for residential and small commercial businesses. Visit them at citywidemortgage.ca.
Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
Welcome to the ultimate guide to the captivating world of binge watching. Whether you watch Netflix, Disney, maybe it's a friend's Plex account, it's sure easy to kind of macrame your ass into the couch, isn't it? You could say it's almost addictive. Binging your favorite shows, it's become somewhat of a cultural phenomenon. And we all love it. Epic fantasy, crime dramas, comedies. If it's good, we'll rip through a few episodes a night till it is gone. So grab your snacks, settle in, and let's embark on this binge watching podcast and some recommendations from 12 of our guests, like 5-time Stanley Cup winning retired NHL goaltender Grant Fuhr, UFC fighter Raquel Pennington, comedian Brent, and former Much Music VJ Erica M. And you'll hear from this week's musical guests in just a minute. My name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for being there. Personally, I'll recommend Yellowstone because Kevin Costner is a fantastic actor. In fact, the whole crew, top to bottom, really nail that show. Same for Succession, and I know that I'm a little bit late to that party, but better late than never, right? I think that's something that you could say as a sweeping generalization with today's podcast, in that some of these interviews are years old, but that doesn't mean it doesn't make sense. I'll watch something that's decades old if I missed it the first time around. So coming up shortly, in Stop Me If You've Heard This Before, retired Whitecaps captain Jay Demerit talking about how he got on Dragon's Den to pitch his company Portmanteau Stereos. It's an interesting story, and it's likely something that you didn't know about Dragon's Den. That is powered by our good friends at FKP MMA. Learn self-defense, build your self-esteem, meet new friends, and get fit doing it. My little guy Levi is on fire, goes a couple times a week for the last year and a half or so, and loves it. Find out why. They are Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com. First, let's hear some of our musical guests and the shows that they recommend that you binge watch. Soul and blues artist AV was a guest early last year. She's great. Lots of incredible music. Start with her Everybody Matters album and go from there.
I think everyone binge watched in the pandemic. Everyone that had the blessing of having the internet binged watched a lot of things.
Like
and we just finished
Netflix.
Yeah, well, we just finished Parks and Recreation in a record amount of time.
Such a good show.
Which I'm so sad. It's like I watched all of it now. I'm kind of sad it's over.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Really,
you know it's good when you're like dreaming that it would come with more episodes, you know?
Yeah, that was really awesome. I needed to laugh a lot in this pandemic.
Yeah.
And
we all did, yeah.
Yeah, that was one we just finished. Yeah, because I was just like, my partner's all into dystopian, like futuristic stuff. And I was like, but we're living it. Why would you want to watch that for fun? We're in it.
So true.
I need an escape.
From a Canadian soul and blues artist to AWOL Nation singer Aaron Bruno. Sail! You think that song went to #1, right? And surprisingly, that's not the case. It only went to number 17 on Billboard's Hot 100. I think more and more you'll start to hear people say the same thing that Aaron said about binge watching.
You know, I decided I didn't want to be programmed by shows and only be watching a show with a certain kind of environment or narrative. So we've decided to, ever since day one of actual quarantine, we've decided to watch a movie each night. And of course, you can't always do that. Different life things happen, but we've labeled each night. So tonight's Friday, so it's Sci-Fi Friday.
Nice.
Tomorrow's Sentimental Saturday or Sappy Saturday, I forget. So we'll watch something kind of ridiculous for that. And then Sunday's Super Sunday, which is just whatever, kind of a blockbuster. Monday is Manic Monday, so action. We watched Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, which my wife fought against, but we did it and it was rad. Trippy Tuesday, so something sort of more psychedelic or kind of out there, Wacky Wednesday.
Like a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah. We just watched Big Fish. I don't know if you remember that Tim Burton movie.
I remember that. Yeah.
It wasn't as great as I remember it to be, but it was worth watching. And then Wacky Wednesday, some sort of comedy, like you could throw Ace Ventura or something insane in there, Wayne's World, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then Thriller Thursday is a lot of fun.
We'll transition from AWOL Nation to one of Canada's best bands all time, Blue Rodeo, and which shows their singer Jim Cuddy was watching when he was a guest. What can't you get enough
Blinders.
Of? Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders. Oh my God.
Yeah, great show.
It's fantastic and it's horrible. I mean, my wife she can binge watch, and I say I can't watch more than 2 of these, or my dreams are so horrible. Like there's 2 of these is enough. I used to find that about my Sopranos, more than 2, and all of a sudden the sociopath is the only thing you see. The only one I could do with Boardwalk Empire. So that's Peaky Blinders. We're just on the final season.
And from Blue Rodeo to one of the big 4 bands, former Megadeth and current Metal Allegiance bassist David Ellefson was a guest a couple of years back now. In Megadeth, he was part of the 38 million albums sold, platinum certification on 6 of 15 studio albums, 12 Grammy nominations. They won a Grammy for Best Metal Performance in 2017 for their song Dystopia. David's a great guy. Here's an interview that you really need to hear the full thing.
I just watched, so I finished Mad Men, because I never saw it. I guess I was on tour and busy. And then I watched House of Cards.
House of Cards
is frighteningly real, I think, in some ways.
Oh, right. Wow.
And then I watched Dead to Me on Netflix.
Is that the Ricky Gervais?
Christina Applegate? I think that's Dead to Me.
That's right.
I think that's what it's called. Yep. Yeah. Then I watched The Righteous Gemstones.
Great show, right?
Amazing. And then I'm kind of going back. I think pre-Righteous Gemstones was Vice Principals. So I'm watching those, and those are HBO, and that's the same guy that did.
And did you get into his Eastbound and Down?
I have not. Is that
dude? Fucking write this down right now, man. Eastbound and Down, like that is.
I love him. That's the thing. I kind of like musicians. When I get into an artist, I'll kind of track with them. I'll buy their back stuff. I'll kind of stay with them to see where they're going. I'm like that with directors, actors. I'll kind of track with that and sort of stay along with it. Obviously I've watched Bradley Cooper movies. I love Brad Pitt movies. They're our current heroes. But they make great films. I love them.
Red Truck Beer. Nothing delivers like a red truck. Official beer of the Toddcast podcast.
On the for no one. Our time can't be frozen. What's done can't be undone. But there's time to move on. So breathe right into the impossible. Breathe the impossible. Well, breathe right into. Breathe the impossible. Well, breathe right into. Will you compromise? Will you sacrifice? If you want it more, then start taking control of your life. Are you satisfied? When will you decide that you want it more, then start taking control and just breathe right into the impossible? What's the cost? The impossible. You're better off than just waiting to die.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
Jay DeMerit is a retired pro soccer player, a center back, who, after not being drafted for the MLS, decided to move to England to try his hand there, and boy, did that take off. Eventually signing with Watford in 2004, he went on to play with them for 211 games over 6 seasons. After being released, he was the first player signed by the Vancouver Whitecaps, went on to play with them for 4 seasons before retiring due to injury. And when Jay came by the podcast studio, we talked about his impressive career, how he once met Elton John after a game standing in his underwear. Jay was, not Elton. We talked about Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool playing in the World Cup, his awesome job at a bar in Chicago, playing soccer in South Africa, the superpower that he'd want to have, the shows that he was binge watching at the time. And stop me if you've heard this before, Jay talked about getting on Dragon's Den to pitch his stereo company, Portmanteau Stereos.
Well, it's crazy, right? Like, Dragon's Den is just this thing. Right?
Yeah,
like,
man.
You're like, we all see it, but then we're like, oh, then you get the opportunity to go on it, right? So there's a couple different ways. Like, Dragon's Den, they work in a couple different ways. Like, they try to get people on, and then there's this other, like, they look for production value. So they had found out, like, somebody just asked me if I would ever be interested who knew people from the Dragon's Den, and it kind of got that. And then it was like, okay, yeah, they're into it.
Sure.
We're like, okay, let's go. It cost us a ton of money. Normally, you just get a flight ticket out there, but there's 2 of us. And we have like thousands of pounds worth of gear that we need to get to Toronto.
Right.
So that was kind of the first thing. It's like, I'm paying money now to go onto the show. And what happens if we tank, or what happens if whatever? But so we do a lot of due diligence. Again, we had a lot of experience in the company. We were just over a year old. So we'd developed 3 different product lines. We just developed our first coffee table.
Right.
Now we're like, hey, let's start pushing this stuff. We get this opportunity. We go. No guarantees, of course.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by FKP MMA, Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com.
Talking to me makes it seem like you practiced all your lines. You accounted for every word except the ones that were mine. You always get upset when I try to tell you what's on my mind. You seem to forget it. Don't got any strength left in this heart of mine. I'm hurting a little bit, hurting a little bit more than I'm used to, hurting a little bit more than I'm used to. I just wanna work together, but we're fighting all the time. We never dress for the weather, now we're freezing all the time. I know it's hard to see this eye to eye. I know it's hard to set aside your pride. I don't wanna lose you again. No, I don't.
there's just no way that their night with us coming up quick is not going to be simply outstanding. The band is called Chase the Bear, and a great song for them called Hurtin'. And if you're a betting person, I'll bet you that you'll see that one at the podcast show. They're next up at the Blue Light Sessions at the Blue Light Studio in East Vancouver. It's September 8th, a Friday night. It's just $20 right now through eventbrite.ca. Event, B-R-I-T-E, eventbrite.ca. Search out Toddcast Podcast. You can't miss it. So the doors are at 7 o'clock. Show goes from 8 till 10-ish. Basically, the band plays. I interview them for most of the performance. So Romeo will be opening up the night, and you'll hear something from those guys later on in the podcast. I played you the Veer Union and their awesome song called Brave the Impossible, and they are lined up to do a Blue Light Sessions as well, and we'll be announcing those details, I think, within the next couple of weeks. So coming up in just a few minutes in Listen to This, a Perfect Circle guitarist, Billy Howardell, talks about making it now as a band versus when APC first started up back in 1999. Another interesting this or that with a very cool musician. That is powered by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, sponsoring for 6 continuous years. Truly a key reason that we're able to keep pumping out the podcasts. RV service and repairs, ICBC accredited. You can find them at tedcorvsupplies.com and on Facebook, Twitter, through Tedco RV Supplies. First, more binge watching recommendations from a handful of our sporting guests, all of whom are powered by Hand Over Hand Textiles in Vancouver. Naturally dyed goods for your home, for your body, bandanas and socks and dishcloths and shirts and scarves and pillowcases. You'll love their work. Truly top notch. And they only use pure plant extracts, natural fibers. It's actually good for Mother Earth. They're locally owned, they're locally operated. Find them through handoverhandtextiles.com. They're also on Instagram. So it kind of goes without saying that we've made binge watching shows our pastime. It's easy for you to get captivated for hours and hours. Whatever it is, there's something about just turning off your brain, right? The storytelling, the suspense, identifying with certain characters. And it's so much different than what watching shows was like as a kid, waiting every week for the next episode. And, maybe you'd miss one here or there kind of thing because you didn't have the PVR. And I mean, I guess some shows are like that now. The new Marvel show, Secret Invasion with Nick Fury is like that, but I won't be watching that until they're all released, right? I'll do my best to kind of steer clear of the spoilers online. So far, so good. So 5-time Stanley Cup winning NHL goaltender Grant Fuhr was a guest a few years back, one of the best to have ever played the game, inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2003, 6 appearances in All-Star games. Gretzky says Fuhr is the greatest goaltender in NHL history.
What have I been watching a lot? NCIS, New Orleans, NCIS, Los Angeles.
Yes.
Last night I caught up on a bunch of old horror movies. So, TV's starting to get boring.
Yeah, I'm ready for normal. I wonder if there's going to be a normal.
It'll be a new normal.
It's going to be a new one, yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to some live sports.
From one of the best NHL tenders of all time to a multiple champion boxer named Barry Awad, who you might know better by his ring nickname, Kid Galahad. Part of his story, his infamous story, from 2014 to 2016, he served a ban from boxing due to doping. It was a protein shake that his brother gave him. What? He's 28-3 as a professional boxer. He's on a 2-fight loss streak right now where he lost the IBF featherweight title, and he challenged for the IBO lightweight title.
Do you know what? I don't really watch TV.
You don't know?
When I'm training,
pretty busy.
I'm busy, but before bed I always try and watch a TV series. I'm watching a thing called Games of Thrones. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, Game of Thrones, man. Holy crap, that movie's huge.
Oh, man. I love it, I sit down and watch TV series, Games of Thrones. Power. You heard of Power?
No. How about Vikings? Have you heard of that?
Yeah, of course I've watched Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings is cool too.
Yeah, Vikings is good. I love them TV series. You know ever Power 50 Cent?
No.
Oh man, you need to watch it.
Okay. 50. It's crazy. He filed for bankruptcy. How do you have like $1 bajillion and file for bankruptcy? It's what?
Listen, some of the biggest athletes, look at Mike Tyson, look at Vander Holyfield.
Right.
They made $500 million, and look at them, they haven't got nothing left.
I know, it's it's surprising.
You don't look
How
after
does that
your
happen?
money.
Yeah. Or you're paying your entourage, like paying people to be around you. It's fucking stupid, man. That doesn't make any sense.
I know. It's what happens when you're not educated and you come from the gutter. You know, you do silly things like that. You're paying people just to be around you.
Just to be there, yeah.
Yeah,
it's weird.
For no reason.
From a champion boxer to UFC fighter Raquel Pennington, number 2 in the UFC's women's bantamweight rankings and the number 13 UFC women's pound-for-pound ranking. She's simply one of the best.
Well, Tisha and I were on a kick with the Lincoln Lawyer series, but I actually started rewatching the 3rd season of the Mayans MC.
Oh, yeah.
So that would go into the 4th season because we watched so many dang shows in between training and just trying to relax that I forgot what it was about. And so I'm kind of just doing a quick catch up and then going to go into the 4th season. But everybody keeps trying to talk about it. I'm like, no.
And from a UFC fighter to a pro wrestler named Ray Lynn, who you've seen on WWE Raw, AEW, Women of Wrestling, MCW Pro Wrestling, and more.
So I am on season 8 of Game of Thrones right now. I'm about to finish the season soon in the next couple weeks. I started, it's been a couple months now. It's really intense. Really intense show.
I mean, it's so good too, right? You're like, maybe just one more episode, and then 3 hours later, hair's disheveled and shit, and
yeah, I'm especially after last night's episode, I'm stressed out.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's awesome.
I like American Horror Stories too. I watched most of those. Trying to think of what else I went through and binge watch. I still even though everything's been, our barbershops and stuff have been open since last June.
Right.
So I've still been working a lot. And I'm an outdoor kid. So only at nighttime I watch TV.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca. Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
Supergroups have been around since the 60s. If you think about it, Cream, formed by Eric Clapton of the Yardbirds, Jack Bruce of Manfred Mann, and drummer Ginger Baker. Then you get into Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Blind Faith, Derek and the Dominoes, Bad Company, Asia, Journey, Temple of the Dog, Audio Slave, Prophets of Rage, and A Perfect Circle, formed by Billy Howardell and Tool's Maynard James Keenan. James Iha of the Smashing Pumpkins also in that band. They released their debut, Mère d'un Homme, in 2000. They've sold over 4 million albums worldwide, haven't released anything since 2018's Eat the Elephant. And when Billy Howardell was a guest, we talked about binging Game of Thrones, Thor, seeing Elvis Costello in concert, his love of cooking, the music that was in Billy's house as a kid, the superpower of X-ray vision, playing baseball as a little tyke. And Billy talked about bands making it, quote unquote, now versus when he first started. Is it easier now because there's so many more tools and gadgets available to bands and artists? Listen to this.
Sure, but there's more. There's more.
Like saturation?
Eyeballs you have to get the attention of. Yeah, the saturation is over the top. So, but it just seems there's so much music, and I hear a lot of good music too, but it doesn't get my attention enough to, it's almost like meeting someone and you shake their hand and you go, I like this guy or this girl, but they're out of sight, out of mind, and you're on to the next one. It's like that with new music a little bit. There's so much of it, and there's so much of it that I think is pretty good, but not, if something's mind-blowing, then I keep coming back to it. But
right.
I guess it's hard, but that's the hard part right there. You have to make such an impact, and then I think art suffers for it. Look at the bands like the Rolling Stones or some other band that needed to marinate in their sound and develop and mature.
Right.
It's hard to get that kind of chance nowadays.
Imagine a band like Pink Floyd today. Would it even work? I don't know if it would.
Well, it kind of does because there's so much of it, and people are there's so much of it out there. But there's so many people borrowing the past and have this nostalgic retro kind of sound that's really interesting. It's interesting, but it's hard to cut through. Then you relied on someone else's DNA, and now how do you find your own way through it?
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies.
The great unknown. The great unknown. Yeah, you're out there on your own. You're heading for the great unknown. You're heading for the great unknown. Heading for the great unknown. Oh, you're out there on your own. Heading for the great
That band is Spendo, and a new song for them called The Great Unknown, and a true powerhouse of a band. If you hear of them coming anywhere near you to play a show, make the effort to go see it. A truly incredible live band. This is where they shine. You heard Harpoonist and the Axe Murderer, and that was their song called Get Ready. Here's another of the jewels in Vancouver's music scene. Caught their show about maybe 6-8 months back now at the Hollywood Theatre in Kitsilano, and immediately was like, guys, please consider doing a podcast show. So fingers crossed I can make that happen, because that would be insane to have them do a blue light sessions. Speaking of live music, you can find a list of shows that are happening locally, not just our shows, but we promote everything that we, find or people reach out and let us know about with the indie scene at toddhancock.ca. So if you're playing one or if you're going to a show, if it's indie, let us know about it and we'll post it up at the website. We're averaging, I think, 3,500 visits a day, but it is on you to keep me in the loop. I'll do my best to find, but otherwise it's tricky to keep up with every band, right? Okay, our final guests of this episode 310. Wow. Well, we're talking about, of course, binge watching and some of our entertainment and lifestyle guests, all of whom are powered by Sacred Meds, Canada's best craft cannabis and psilocybin dispensary. You can also get oils, hash, all kinds of edibles, and there's suckers and DMT and peyote and a whole bunch more. But remember this, at registry, the first time you go there, mention that you heard about them through this podcast. It will instantly upgrade your profile on their website. Open up some different stuff, all right? So really, when you think about it, binge watching has revolutionized the way that we consume TV. You're able to deep dive into certain narratives, immerse yourself in your favorite characters, or spend hours upon hours indulging, and really it's almost endless options. Comedian Brent has been in the game since 1988. You'll likely best know him for his role as Brent Leroy on Corner Gas. He's won 4 Canadian Comedy Awards. He was honored with the Comedy Network Sir Peter Ustinov Award for his significant body of comedic work. He's in there with some huge comedians: John Cleese, Bob Newhart, John Candy, Eugene Levy. So what was Brent watching when we spoke?
Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, so good, eh?
But I'm about, well, we did season 3. Season 4 has just come out now and started to. But I'm starting to get away from Peaky Blinders because it's starting to, the giant leaps in time are starting to bother me.
Right.
You know, I would be like, oh, now it's 15 years later. What? What the hell?
15 years? Like, what the hell's going on?
You're telling me nothing worth filming happened in that 15 years. But yeah, the performances and the writing are great at Peaky Blinders. I'm not watching a lot of TV that isn't a Canucks game right now.
From a funny Canadian comedian to a former Much Music VJ, and really, at the time, an influencer before the term even existed, Erica M. You remember when Much first signed on? There's no cell phones, there's no internet. If you wanted to hang out with buddies, you rode your bike to their place, you hung out until the streetlights came on, then you went home. So Erica M was one of Much Music's best VJs. Started working in the broadcast industry at Chom, sorting out records for the DJs, and this is after graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree in communications from the University of Ottawa. And the rest, they say, is history.
God, what a great question.
I know, right?
Well, like everybody else, being locked down and lonely, I've been watching so much TV. And the problem is that historically, when I'm sort of bored, I make something. So I've been doing a lot of stuff which I can talk about, but I've never been this bored. And because I'm locked down, I've been watching TV in ways I never have before. So The 2 shows, my 2 favorites. First one, is The Americans.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my God, Todd.
Writing it down.
It's old already. I think it wrapped like 3 years ago. I discovered it late. I remember it winning a lot of awards at like the Golden Globes or something, or the Emmys. And it stars Kerry Russell.
Okay.
And her husband, whose name I can't remember, but actually it's her husband in real life now. They play Russian spies who are sent to the United States to live as Americans and infiltrate the secrets of America. And it is riveting.
I feel like that could actually be happening present day, and we wouldn't even bat an eye about it.
Well, it is happening. This show is loosely based on a few books that have come out. It absolutely happens. Which is what's so crazy, because this is one of those, truth is way stranger than fiction. This is, it's a little extreme, apparently. Like the books that have been written, there isn't as much violence and, craziness, but people do it. They move to a country, they assume the country's identity. So, the Russian speaking, their Russian language disappears and they sound like Americans. Obviously they are Americans, but and they have children. These are two spies who didn't know each other. They were told to have children and raise them in America and become inconspicuous.
Oh God,
so by day they were travel agents, and at night they were international spies. It's brilliant. Like, it is the best show I've ever seen in my life, aside from maybe Northern Exposure.
Great show.
Also Outlander. I do love Outlander.
Yes.
And most recently, because I'm so obsessed with The Americans and was so sad when it ended, my friend told me to start watching Felicity, which stars Kerry Russell 20 years ago as a young woman, teenager, I'm not sure how old she is, in her first year of college. And it's written by J.J. Abrams, who has gone on to, great fame with Star Trek, etc. And my kids are of that age. This show is, again, I love it.
From one of Much Music's best to a guy who showed me the world of podcasting, podcaster and movie critic Steve Stebbing. So when I was doing CFox's afternoon show back in the day, Steve would invite me to come to his place to do a podcast, crush a few beers, smoke some weed, and he really showed me another avenue to broadcast to your fan base. So when I was shown the corporate door after working at 99.3 The Fox in Vancouver for almost 15 years, podcasting seemed to be the obvious choice. That or move to Lethbridge and do a morning show there, which I wasn't going to do that. So Steve's just a solid dude, does great work. You can hear him as a national film critic for The Shift with Shane Hewitt across the Global News Radio Network.
I have this feels like it's everybody's answer right now, but because I have access to, I just finished season 2 of Ted Lasso.
Oh yeah.
I freaking love that show.
Jason Sudeikis is so good, man.
He is. It makes you seriously wonder how much of Ted Lasso is that Sudeikis charm that we know and we've seen for a long time, and how much is it the really great writing? Because it is really great writing.
Well, it's great writing, but it also makes you think like how much of that is just ad-libbed and fucking around.
That too. I also find it interesting that two of the breakout characters, which would be Coach Beard, who I really enjoyed in that show, and Roy Kent, who is the freaking breakout star. Like, he's Roy fucking Kent. Like, he's
right,
the best. They're both writers. They're not actors. Those are both writers on the team that wrote these characters, and they're like, well, to get this across, I need to do it. And then the people that are doing the casting are like, why are we casting people? You can just do it.
Doing it. Fucking do it.
And now they're winning he just won a Hollywood Film Guild award. And he's, as far as award season goes, Ted Lasso is just going to clean up.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been rewatching Preacher recently because it's on Amazon.
Yeah.
I love that because I love the
great show.
comic book. The comic books are like my favorite comic.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't touch the comic book. The comic book's amazing.
It's a new thing. It's a new thing. It's just like The Boys. The Boys is a new direction. The Boys is also another one of my favorite comics of all time. A theme here being Garth Ennis is a comic god.
Yeah.
But I was late to the game on The Witcher. I really enjoyed it. I don't play the video game at all, so I have no basis of reference. And it's super heady. Like there's this whole like world that they drop you into, and it's like, you know, like creatures and like medieval times and everything. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, it's really heady, but I really enjoyed that one quite a bit.
And from a podcaster, movie critic to a former beauty queen turned model with over 1.3 million people following along on Instagram, Tahlia Paris. Now, she was scouted by a modeling agency when she was just 5 years old. Fast forward, Tahlia was named Playboy's Cybergirl of the Month for January 2016 and is Playboy's Cybergirl of the Year for 2017.
So I love getting into different series and stuff. I love, of course, The Vampire Diaries, of course. I love How to Get Away with Murder.
Okay.
And then also one of my favorite ones is This Is Us. It's a great show. It's like so like heartwarming and it's amazing. That's probably like my thing right now is This Is Us.
Entertainment guest visits are powered by Sacred Meds, Canada's best craft cannabis and psilocybin dispensary. Visit sacredmeds.com.
It's been a couple years. Now I'm left with all these fears. But I guess it's my fault for assuming that you could treat me like a human. I must admit that I'm so pissed at you for all the things that you said you'd do. But I guess I was just a fool for believing that you knew how to follow through. You said that you needed me, but that was just a lie. 'Cause every time you said you loved me, you couldn't look me in my eyes. It's embarrassing all the times I purposely ignored the signs. It only felt so good. We were always getting high. Always getting high. I've been thinking about the way that we used to be. I thought we were happy, but I wasn't being me. So I took some time sober. Thank God it's over. It really took too long. Drunk and in love, when push comes to shove, blindfolded and robbed. You said that you needed me, but that was just a lie. 'Cause every time you said you loved me, you couldn't look me in my eyes. It's embarrassing all the times I purposely ignored the signs. It only felt so good. 'Cause we were always getting high. Always getting high. It's embarrassing all the times I purposely ignored the signs. You were always getting high. Always getting high. Always getting high.
Sounds like that's going to be a great way to open up the night. The band is called So So Romeo. It's new music for the podcast, a new song for the band as well. It's called Getting High, and you'll see them on September 8th at the Blue Light Studio in East Vancouver with the podcast, as mentioned a while back. They are opening up the night for Chase the Bear. You can grab $20 tickets right now before they're gone. I've got a feeling this one's going to sell out. So go through eventbrite.ca, eventbrite.ca. And that's going to wrap up this week's podcast, all about binge watching, a cultural phenomenon. Kind of let you get lost in a captivating story or let you follow the intricate plot lines and character arcs. And of course, it's a great escape from reality. It's relaxing. It creates a sense of community when you talk about your favorite shows with your buddies. And honestly, it's how I wrap up most of my days. Wife's in bed, kids are sleeping. You fire up something that either my wife wouldn't like or that my kids couldn't watch and just submerge myself in the writing and the story and how they weave that narrative. Personally, I think you just can't beat it. As always, a huge thanks to all of our guests as we continue to shine a light on their visits well after their initial interview. Again, my name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, please tell your friends about us. You can subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Megaphone, YouTube. Comment and rate the podcast. Search it out through Toddcast Podcast. We are part of the Realm Network, headquartered in New York City. Wow, man, that trips me out saying that. Huge thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If your business would like to sponsor the podcast, you can for as little as $10 a day. Contact info is at the homepage. Hit me up and we'll see what we can do. And by the way, help us find a sponsor. We'll give you a commission. Make a little side hustle listening to this podcast, all right? So till next time, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast Podcast, powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, dedicated to helping you find the best mortgage rates. Available 7 days a week at citywidemortgage.ca.
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 five-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 50% off with minimum purchase, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you're going to love our podcast, Disney Countdown. Hi, I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And Biscuits, I'm Jeremy, aka Jarendell, and we are the hosts of the hit Disney podcast, Disney Countdown.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show, right, Jeremy?
Ooh, girl, you know we are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you are looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Goodbye, Kyle! Did the sound of those words call to you like Pavlov's dog? Then you might enjoy our podcast, Turtle Time.
Every week, you can join me, Riley Hamilton, and my co-host, Amy Scarlatta, as we cover the most pressing Bravo news and dig into the new episodes to answer important questions like, who the hell is Adrian Malouf in this world?
Listen to Turtle Time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Wednesday and Friday.